Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Toxic chemicals can have long-lasting effects on our fertility and health. And today we're going to discuss the connection between toxic chemicals and weight management. And our metabolism can be hijacked by internal and external toxic chemicals. Today's guest had a really great post recently discussing how the chemicals in our environment and everyday products can impact our weight. She also discussed how internal toxins our bodies create can also influence how our body manage weight. This is why we're really excited to chat with Dr. Alicia Macpherson. Dr. Macpherson is a functional doctor who specializes in hormones, metabolism, and stress. We're going to discuss the differences between internal and external toxic chemicals, how they impact our weight, and signs that toxic chemicals can impact in your health. So I'm gonna.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a topic we have not covered before, but so important.
Yay! I'm excited to be here. Hello, everyone. Jumping on live.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you became a doctor who specializes in hormones, metabolism, stress, and everything else.
Totally, yeah. So I went to school as a naturopathic doctor. So I went and did kinesiology and then moved into naturopathic medicine where I studied for 4 years. And then after that, became quite obsessed with the world around functional medicine and how we can really dive deep in understanding what's going on with our bodies so that we can feel that way what we want to feel. So I've been doing this work for over, I think, 3+ years in the naturopathic world. And then functional medicine, functional movement I've been doing for about 8 years now.
Oh, wow. So what is a functional medicine doctor? How can someone benefit from their services?
Yeah, it's like the naturopathic way. It's really figuring out what our root causes are. Like, why do we feel the way that we feel? And instead of just resorting to pills and medications, it's really diving in. Even supplements sometimes can be a band-aid. And it's really understanding how our body is functioning and working and really working on healing and supporting the root cause, whether that's liver or GI or neurotransmitters, hormones. It's really diving in and figuring out why are you feeling that the way that you're feeling and what is the solution to moving forward.
So I know metabolism is like a huge part of this whole, how our body functions and everything. Could you give us a high level explanation of like what is metabolism?
Totally. Metabolism, how I think about it is we taking in food calories and converting it to energy. So how well does your body do at making energy? How well does it do at creating the fuel for your body to run, whether that's your energy, whether it's fueling hormones, whether it's burning fat, whether it's giving you superior brain function? Like, how good are you at converting energy or storing energy?
And that obviously have a lot to do with weight management because we know like energy in versus energy out.
Exactly. Yes, everything to do with it, right? Calories in, calories out, it matters. Like that, the debate is always, does calories in, calories out matter? And I say, yes, it does, but our burn rate is influenced by
Mhm.
so many things, our hormones, metabolism. Like if you don't have a strong metabolism, let's say you've got low functioning mitochondria, the mitochondria aren't healthy or efficient, they're like sluggish, then our burn rate isn't going to be as high. And now you're storing a lot more than you're actually burning. So with our weight loss clients, we're working on building a strong, healthy metabolism, which allows you more freedom and flexibility. You don't have to be
Mhm.
nail gun around your macros and your workout plan. You've got some freedom to live, which is what I find
Mhm.
most of us want. We want the freedom and flexibility to live our lives and feel incredible all the time.
Yep. You had a really great post about toxic chemicals and weight management. I want to kind of follow up on that. So, what are the internal and external toxic chemicals?
Yeah, so what I kind of think of it two things. Well, we're actually three. What we're exposed to in the environment, and there's so many chemicals that we're exposed to all the time, like with the water we drink, air, the perfumes, fragrances, like all of it. It's hard to navigate, and it can be quite overwhelming when you're like,
Mhm.
okay, how do I start here? What do I do? Because everything around us is quite toxic. right? And so then I think of the internal toxins are how your body is breaking down and what it's creating, because you've got some byproducts that are happening there. And then I also consider to be emotional states to be quite toxic too, right? If we're holding on to a lot of negativity, if we're around people that are very negative all the time, if we're not working through our triggers, that influences our body too. So I kind of consider that to be a toxin, as well as the things that we can see and feel in the environment. The emotional side of it is also important.
Oh, so true. We deal a lot with the external toxic chemicals like million marker because we provide a test, allow people to understand that. And we also tell like our testers that these are also obesogens and dibesogens. And could you give us like a deeper explanation of how external these toxic chemicals are happening like at a metabolic level?
Totally, yeah. So essentially, these toxins are coming in, and if your body's getting quite overwhelmed with them, like typically the liver can process things and deal with it and get rid of them. But when we have so much of it, like with anything, there's a backup. There's like a backflow that's happening. So the body's not able to properly detox, get them out of the system, and so then they're spending more time in the body that they should.
Mhm.
We know that a lot of these toxins can actually affect our metabolism on that mitochondrial level, like actually
Mhm.
affecting the cell and creating damage within the cell or creating inflammation within the cell. So that's going to, when we have systemic inflammation, it's going to
Mhm.
cause our body to gain weight as well. It affects our cortisol response. So the body is getting all these toxins. We're having this signal of not safe, not safe, not safe. And so with that signal,
Mhm.
now it's contributing to weight gain as well. So it affects thyroid, it affects the mitochondria, affects the cells, it affects our stress response, it affects our hormones. Like everything seems to be impacted when the body can't properly deal with toxins and the garbage in our environment.
Yeah, and then compounded with your additional, if you have like emotional stress, even thinking about weight loss or like reducing toxins, that's like even worse.
Exactly.
So you mentioned
Exactly.
the liver, like what role does the liver play in weight management and metabolism?
Yeah, so we're not naturally detoxing all the time, but I find that if we are exposed to too many toxins and we don't have healthy detoxification systems, it's not smooth. It's always working, but if it's not smooth and efficient, then we often have toxins recirculating in the body, and then this can create hormone imbalances, or what I call is the toxic weight gain,
Mm.
right? Where you might be doing everything correctly, but maybe not having bowel movements, maybe you've got liver congestion, maybe just a little bit of a sluggish liver. Then some of these hormones are getting recirculated in the body, the inflammation is spiking, and now it's telling your body essentially to hold on to the fat instead of releasing it. So the liver is one of the first things that we want to look at is, do we have any signs, symptoms of a liver not working optimally? And then how can we just make that process a little bit more efficient, a little bit more smooth so that you are flushing out toxins quite effortlessly?
So you mentioned the toxic weight gain. Besides toxic weight gain, showing as you're not detoxing adequately, are there any other symptom that people should like look out for or they would experience if their body is not detoxing adequately?
Totally. Yeah, with the liver, it's like even gut too. You don't really feel it in the gut sometimes. You're not going to feel your liver, being like, "Help me," but it's going to come up other areas. So energy is huge, right? If we have someone that has low energy throughout the day, they're very sluggish. Brain fog, moodiness, irritability is a big one, right? If someone's always snapping at things,
Mm.
if they're moody, if their moods are up and down, if they're experiencing anxiety or just a low mood, any skin issues, we can connect to the liver, eczema, acne, basically anything with skin. We want to look at how the liver is doing. PMS symptoms, dysmenorrhea, so painful periods, breast tenderness. If you're getting a lot of heightened emotions around your period, liver is connected to that as well. Basically anything I can link back to the link back to the liver, but my big ones are hormonal, like PMS symptoms, energy, mood, and then the weight gain. Maybe if bloating is a problem, we'll sometimes look at liver too.
Mm. So what are some tips to help our body to detox and lose weight?
So many good ones.
So
So
many
I
good.
would recommend, yeah, I would recommend, sweating, right? That's something that we can do very easily at home is just sweating, whether that's a sauna, whether it's movement, but trying to improve the detox pathways that way. Castor oil can be great. I love lemon water. There's certain supplements, but I always make sure that these are very specific for the person. But to get it really going, a sauna every day could be a great idea just to help the body start flushing out. We want to look at inflammatory foods. If you're having a lot of processed foods, the seed oils, things like that, we might want to clear up just to help the body a little bit better. And then, of course, looking in your environment, where are the toxins coming from? Where can you just clean it up a little bit more, even if it's one thing at a time, like getting rid of perfumes, looking at where you're storing your food and maybe making some adjustments with that. Fragrances are big ones.
Yep.
Are you using candles? What kind of candles? Like, can you clean that up? So I find that with our clients, sometimes it's very overwhelming looking at all the things to fix. And I remember that feeling too. It'd be like, I need liver support. Where do I start? So I just picked one thing at a time, and for personal hygiene products are going to be one of the big ones. So I looked at my shampoos, my deodorants. I was wearing perfume, so threw those out. My partner was wearing cologne, so I threw that out. I looked at what are the natural options, and then over time, it was almost like a momentum building. I looked at certain products I was using on my skin, soaps, shampoos, and I just went deeper. And then it was laundry detergent,
Yeah.
getting rid of dryer sheets, which were huge growing up for me,
Yeah.
looking at different options for that. And then over time, you're slowly transitioning and decreasing that chemical load.
Yep, that's exactly the recommendation we try to give it to our our customers, because it's like it can be really overwhelming, and we don't want people to be overwhelmed because
Mm.
otherwise that could really increase that cortisol that you don't want extra in your body. But
Yeah,
we
in
end
the
up with help with
process.
detox, like choosing good product, but as you said, like one thing at a time, so people don't get stressed out.
Yes, yes, because once we feel like there's so many things to do, there's that paralysis that happens, right? It's like, what do I do next? I'm not going to do anything. There's too many options. So if we can just take a step back and slowly work on cleaning up one thing at a time, while supporting detox pathways with sweating, with maybe castor oil, maybe with the lemon water in the morning, air purifiers, looking at your water, like slowly start incorporating that, your liver is going to just say thank you.
Yes, say thank you. So, what is the 5-day fat burn protocol for high performing women?
Yeah, totally. So this is a 5-day challenge that I've run on simple steps that you can do to help your body move into that fat burning activation. So it's looking at hormones, metabolism, detox pathways, gut function, even your mind, and looking at what are some simple, subtle things that we can do to start shifting our body so that our metabolism, our hormones, our detox pathways are supporting vitality. And that might mean releasing some of the extra weight or just supporting metabolism so that you're feeling better. So it's a 5-day free challenge that I put together just to help people start that journey.
So, how can people join that?
Yeah, my link in my bio, it's there where you can register and join there. And yeah, it's fun. It's about hour-long trainings, but lots of value and very clear action steps.
Love it, love it. And I know you also have many really wonderful programs. Tell us a little bit more about your programs.
Totally, yeah. So I run my main program as a weight loss protocol where we're focusing on what I call the 6 pillars to losing weight, especially for women. That's the hormone optimization, metabolic function. We've got the inflammation, the cortisol response, detox pathways, so gut and liver, and then also our mind, our subconscious. Because if we're in this place of failure, we're not thinking we're going to be successful, if we're thinking we're broken, then it's very hard. It's very hard to heal in general. So doing a lot of the work to make sure that we're primed for success. So it is the main protocol that I run to help women release that weight and start feeling energized, confident in their life.
That is really, really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing these things. And then I totally encourage everyone to check out the 5-day fat burn protocol because it's free. And also check out Dr. McPherson and join her other programs. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge today.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for everyone for joining.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. We'll include all the info in the LinkedIn bio promoting this Instagram live. So thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.